At dawn, the air was as still as a dead tree. The creek, an unbroken mirror. The tide on the way up. We checked and double-checked everything on the boat and loaded our gear in for a day on the water. The first time my boat, the Edge, would get wet.
Can't believe we're finally putting the boat in the water. Traveled so far to get here. Finally gonna get our feet wet.
Slowly, slowly. Okay, whoa there. That's it, mate, we're good. Awesome.
It was at that moment that I began to realize that dropping the boat down a steep bank was probably a lot easier than pulling it back out was going to be. This is what freedom looks like. Wind in your hair and nothing to do in the world but catch a fish.
It's a beautiful bright morning here out at the coast and just fishing this creek here. The tides are a little bit funny, so we can't really get right out to the bite, but we're just gonna work these areas here. There's plenty of snags, there's plenty of little holes and stuff, so we're gonna throw everything we've got at it, get some divers in to get under those snags, work some surface poppers, some worms, pretty much do everything we can to see if we can coax a barra onto the end of the line. But this is one of those places, you're so far away from anything here. I mean, this is proper remote country. And I love that. There's no one else out here. There's not another soul. It's pretty awesome being this far away from civilization and just pitting yourself against the elements. Man to fish, as it were.
Out here, you're always casting for a barramundi. They're the perfect blend of fighting sport fish and table fish. But sometimes you end up with something else on the line. And if it's a queen fish, you're rarely disappointed.
Looks like a little baby queenie.
Yeah.
Better than nothing.
And it's foul hooked. All right.
Well, that's a heavy fish, Craig. How'd you pull that in?
What do you want to do with that, mate?
All right, we'll throw them back. A bigger queenie, maybe we'll look at keeping.
Upsize.
Let's get a barra.
There really is no secret to catching barramundi or any other fish. You can learn to target the topology of any body of water and how to use your lures more effectively in just about any condition. Without local knowledge though, it's still a bit of a crapshoot.
Oh, that is definitely a barramundi.
Finally, Lorella delivers. Dude, that's a good barra.
He's still got a little bit of fight in him. The trick with these guys is always, you've got to keep tension on the line or they will throw that hook a million times over. There's no such thing as a lure too big for a barra. These guys, they can swallow anything. You can nearly get a stubby in there. Pretty easy to tell this species, nothing else has got a mouth like that and nothing else fights like that. It's got to be one of the best fighting fish in the world. They're excellent table fish. And this guy measured up just over 55, which is the minimum in the territory. He's about 56, 56 and a half. And I reckon that's gonna be dinner tonight. A little bit of secret ingredients, a little bit of time, and this guy's gonna be delicious.
You never know what's going to happen on the water. You can drag fish up all day long in one spot and not even get a nibble a day later. But that's okay. We aren't fishing to survive anymore, which frees it up to be something else. A quest for all the things that die in us in this city. And no journey ever really ends if you look at things right. Lorella has so much to explore, and that meant getting back in the D-Max and the MUX and hitting the tracks again, looking for whatever comes our way. Another camp, another night under the rolling sky, and every day things getting a little bit clearer, washed clean in the wood smoke.
Since the dawn of time, man has striven with everything that he can, with everything he is, to escape the wilderness. But in the last 200 years or so, he's begun to come back to nature, particularly in the West. And I think there's a reason for that. There's something out here in really wild places like Lorella Springs, where you're completely off the grid, where you can touch the edge of something that we've left behind. And I believe it might be as simple as primal fear. There's something about that experience that grants you a perspective that I don't think you can get any other way. You have to come out into the wilderness. You have to be a little bit afraid. You have to be surrounded by a world that doesn't really care about you. When you do that, I think you grow as a person. And that's why I'm out here, is to learn those lessons the absolute hard way.